And we're live out in Mother Nature on a Saturn day. I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am a spiritual healer. Maybe I should move the phone over because it's pretty loud. Healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, light worker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil, messenger of God, child of God, the Lilith reincarnated, here on a Saturday. What's up, y'all? Oh, look, here comes my ducky. What's up? I like this little dude. He just comes all the time. He just be sneaking up. You see him? I'll be sitting here and I don't even see him. He just literally just swims right past me all the time. He's a male duck, if you don't know. The female duck. The male duck, sorry. The female ones, I'm looking over at this, seeing the mockingbirds too. I didn't realize any of them were over here. The male ducks always come over. He's so pretty. Let's see. So to keep up with me, you had to see what I posted on my community page. Hater. I was going to do a reading just for this, for the sake of it, because I have all these cards, all of my dark cards sitting on my altar. But I got up there and I just didn't feel inclined to do it. I'm just kind of, focused on my own material world, and I thought we'd talk about it. So yesterday I hit what I kept saying in my video was probably an invisible tower. But what it does is those tower moments, they're made to make you reflect, bro. They're like, it's just an upheaval that makes you change your direction. Sometimes they don't have to be the end of the world, but sometimes they do. And that's what I was saying. I don't feel like I need to, end of the world this one. But in the essence, I wasn't sure what was going on with my car, right? Well, this morning I'm like, all right, I got to figure out something. You know what I mean? I didn't even try it. I didn't even see what happened. As soon as it started acting funny, I brought it right back home. So I got up this morning and I was like, all right, I'm going to go see what the fuck this car does, and hopefully I'll be back. And I went to leave, and as I was leaving, I saw Morgan. And Morgan's always working on her car. And I'm like, Morgan, do you know about cars, or are you just always trying to figure it out? She's like, no, I'm a total mechanic. I was like, I think there's something wrong with my car. She's like, yeah, it sounds pretty loud. Pop the hood. And I tell her the whole thing, and she's like, dude, he didn't burp it. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, it's got air in it, dude. You got air in there. And so Lewis knows what this means. I didn't. But anyway, so we had to open it all up and let it heat up and let all this air come out of it. It could have been a huge problem later, but luckily that's what it was. And when I described it, she's like, yeah, that's exactly what it acts like. And so anyways, I sat there for an hour just chatting with her about all kinds of crazy shit. And then she's like, all right, now go try the car and push it. And I was like, all right, because she told me to. So I pushed it and nothing was wrong with the car. I ended up going to the spiritual store, found a cool book on Carl Jung's teachings. We talk about him. He's referenced by all of my other books. I'm like, so I went to go look for, his actual teachings. I got that, some sage like I always need. And I got some, what is that shit called anyways? It's like Florida water, so I guess it's like a spiritual cleanse, but I use a different one that's used for working with the ancestors. So I got some of that, and then after that I went to the thrift store, and the conversation that we had changed my whole direction, right? So yesterday I'm facing the possibility that, I fucked around and got locked down, like my car might, my freedoms might be fucking limited based on whatever is going on with the car. So I had a certain perception of shit yesterday. But then she gets under there and she's like, dude, your car is good to go. I was like, well, I planned on taking it on a fucking trip. I plan on driving it. How good to go? She's like, you're good to go, dude. I was like, seriously? She's like, yeah. It's like, you want to go to Alaska? She's like, dude, that's crazy. I have a friend in Alaska that told me to come up there 2 weeks ago. I was like, you have a friend in Alaska? It's like, I have a couple of them. It's like, you want to go to Alaska? And it's like, started talking to her. I was like, she's like, you hate it here, huh? I was like, not yet, but I'm not, what am I sitting here waiting for? Who's going to save me? And we both say it at the same time. What, the system? I was like, yeah, you too. I was like, how close are you to getting a house? Exactly. Anyway, so we started talking about it. I was like, my biggest fear is my car. I don't really have any fears. Mine is just the car. And if you tell me that my car is good to go, then fuck it. Right? Is what I told her. Now, will she actually go with me? Probably not. Not in a million years. People are just not that brave, dude. But that doesn't matter. I got the okay for me to go. So I'm like, all right, let's fight these fears, dude. What else is standing in the way of you packing up and hitting the unknown again? And then we both said the same thing. We're afraid that if we take off, we won't get a house. I was like, dude, we're no closer to getting a house. And even if we get the house, I was like, can we afford the house? And she's like, dude, I'm like the master resourcer for subsidized housing. I was like, I know all the places. And all you got to do is get yourself on a list, and they'll hold this place for you until you get that one. And that kind of opened up a whole another, you know what I mean, can of fucking worms. Because in the sense of, you know, that's what I had said in all my videos is I can't afford an apartment here on one income. It had to be subsidized. And I would have to be on a waiting list. And, you know, she tells me that. And I'm like, well, if I get on the fucking waiting list now, you know what I mean? And just, you know, start the wait. And I tell my social worker, according to her, they'll let me stay until housing comes through as long as I'm still being productive. And that could still give me the opportunity to do this traveling. I'm supposed to be, you know, obviously looking for, you know, employment and all that in the case that I can get housing. But she knows places that, again, it goes off of whatever income you have. And that was similar to Oklahoma. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Oklahoma told me I could get into a house with nothing more than food stamps. You're like, how does that work? There was a lot of shit. I don't want to go into those videos, but they had a lot of ways that it worked. You did some community service to pay for utility allowances and shit like that. But once you got in, you were screwed. Because I told you, like, well, it's a long story. Once you got in, you were screwed. You couldn't even fucking get out, bro. There was no way out once you got in. I mean, all you were going to get was a roof over your head. And that's something I didn't have at that time. But you couldn't get a job in that fucking town unless you were church affiliated or something to that, you know, you were fucking somebody's cousin. Or both. Fucking cousin fuckers. I meant that in a straight way, not a ancestral way, but that too. In essence, so it's something similar to that, is where they go off of, you know, whatever income you have. And that's how they delegate it. So she had opened up this possibility that if that's the sake, then that means I wouldn't necessarily be facing a fear if I could secure my place and just take off, you know what I mean, for a few weeks. That's what I said too, is I don't have intentions on getting a job and staying up there for a long period of time. And as long as that's okayed by my, you know what I mean, my social worker, then I could go and come back and still, you know, be, you know what I mean, happily ever after. So I'm trying to kind of, you know, grasp that idea, or just the simple fact of just, you know, walking out of here like I do, and just walking into the unknown like I always have. And she said the same thing, and that's what I told her. I was like, I never know what I'm going for or where I'm going. All I can see is getting on a ferry. I don't even know how much that costs and how to get there. But that's another thing too. We were talking about it because, like, we were talking about driving through the mountains. I was like, hey bro, I did the Wyoming through freaking Utah. Those were pretty killer. I was like, the only states I haven't done is way up north. We could drive up north. I never did those states and drive straight over. And that would be adventurous too, because I've never gone up that way. We'd have to wait till the whole snow stops though. But ultimately, that's what I was planning on. I don't know if I'm planning on it as soon as the full moon in Sagittarius, but the energy that's building up to it, you know what I mean? We'll start shedding our reality as the moon sheds until our new moon. And by that, we'll plant our new seed. And we'll go off of that, and then we'll be, you know what I mean? It'll be ready to burst by the full moon, which would be June 11th. So just kind of looking at all of these. And that's it too, is I didn't know what to do about my car until I had someone really tell me if this was worth the investment. You know what I mean? Is it worth the fucking investment to do all of this bullshit? And it's some bullshit, to be honest. And so, that's just where my mind has been, is like, first off, is like, I'm just trying to wrap my mind about taking off. You know what I mean? And what that would look like. So that's manifesting it, giving it energy, kind of giving, I can't say my imagination, but just, you know what I mean, letting it in, letting the idea in, and all the fears that come with it. Because in the beginning, that's all it is. It's like, well, what if this, and what if that, and what. So there's not much of that, but you got to wait, you know what I mean, the anxiety and the stuff to sit in before you can really ground the idea. And again, you can't always put a date on it or anything, and you can't put it into, you know, how you want it to look, but it could look good in the sense of, if I can secure housing, you know, get myself on a housing list and still keep this place, then I could look good in the sense of just a vacation and not like, you know what I mean, a detriment of walking into the unknown with nothing to come back to, which is usually how I fucking run things. So I have to accept all possibilities and all possibilities realized. And in the essence, it's just having confidence and faith that no matter what, when I get out there, I'll be okay. And who knows if the actual answer is that I'll come back. And that's what I was talking about too. That's what it is. It's like Colorado is home, but not with any roots. It's just a place where it's familiar. I don't have any roots to Colorado. I mean, truthfully, it's just where I feel safest. You know what I mean? But in essence, it's like that could just be by, you know, longer periods of time spent, maybe. I don't know. But I know it's going to be a hot-ass summer, and I've really been planning this for over 2 years, and if I'm at the gateway of possibilities and I can finally fight the fear and go through it, then it's worth doing. You know what I mean? It's an awesome opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity to just, you know, go with the flow of something that you've always wanted to do. And that makes more sense, too, as I was telling you, you know what I mean? Like, the detachment. I can't take, nobody's going to go with me. I'm going to have no friends or nothing. That never works out. And that's what happens too, is like, you know, you'll make these, you'll be rooted, and because of your roots, and that's what she said too, she's like, I have no roots here. I have no reason I can't get up and leave. And that's where, you know, you are detached, and that gives you a lot of freedom. The only thing that holds you back from that freedom is fears. I was telling her how, you know, I bummed gas the whole way. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. I didn't lie to nobody, dude. I just pulled up with my kids and said, you know, we're struggling to get to the next place. Can you help me out? She's like, really? And I was like, yeah, you know my car. It takes $40 to fill it up. We were going, and I'd never let it get past half a tank. So actually, I was only bumming at $20 every couple of hours. And I wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't a big deal. She's like, really? I was like, yep. And I was like, I learned how to camp in my car. She's like, dude, I lived in my car for 4 years. I took out the back seat and put a bed back there. I was like, are you fucking serious? She's like, yep. I was like, damn. So it sounded cool. In the essence, it sounded real cool. Like I could find a partner to go and do some crazy cool shit, if that's possible. And that's what I was sitting here thinking about. Like if the structure would allow it, and why wouldn't that? I mean, if we were only to take a 2-week vacation and we were still, you know what I mean? Because like, how long could it take? Confirmation. Oh my gosh, my son wants some Robux. He's like, where's your credit card? Fucking kid. Well, and that's kind of the whole point I was bringing this up is, that's how the tower works, right? God asked you to let go of something, a mindset, and what did I let go of? The panic, the fucking freak out, you know what I mean? I was very like, who cares? Rather than acting up like I typically do. And as soon as I let go of this battle, you know what I mean, of even caring about the car and just had faith that everything would be okay, you know what I mean? As soon as I let that go, a new possibility opened. It wasn't a new possibility. They're never really new. They're just seeds that you planted and shit got in your way. Which is what, you? You got in your way. And so, you know, if you go back all the way back, and that's what I was telling her, I was like, dude, I was parked out in my car. I was like, I got my tax money. I was going to buy a fucking little rinky-dink trailer, go work at a campground and do all of this. I was like, and then they called me for this. And then it gave me time to spend money and, you know, for us to, you know, catch back up on everything we needed and rest. But I was like, we're just wasting away here. My kids are just wasting away in that room. I'm just wasting away. We're not really. I'm getting a lot of growth done, a lot of priesty work, and that's typically what happens. It's a fucking vacation all the time for the kids everywhere we go. I'm over there crying and doing hella priesty work, and they're just laid up, you know what I mean, eating the best foods, watching their favorite shows. I swear to God, you guys, as I told her, I was like, all fucking winter we were in hotels. You know what I mean? They were getting fucking room service, and I'm over there fucking going through it. When we moved into fucking Chris's house, they had the best summer of their life. I spent the whole thing in the dark night of the soul, crying, like, and all I saw was darkness, bro. The whole fucking summer. You know what I mean? We moved into the hotel and shit, same fucking thing, dude. Everywhere we go, I'm fucking dying. They're living the best of their lives while I'm over here just dying. We're just learning hard lessons, fighting fears, being pushed into a place that I don't know what I'm gonna do, and, you know, ultimately God comes through. And that's where it is. Are you ready to go let him fuck with you again? And it's cool because I was really you know, he knows when your soul is done, when you're toasted, bro, when you're crying from your soul, like, I can't take it, dude, I'm gonna take my life, like, I can't take this anymore, kind of shit. It's not a real thing, but you have to understand that's a real feeling. That's a real feeling, dude. Joe Bart just shared a video about that on his major page. He said it was more for the philosophy, but he wanted everyone to see it. And I think it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's like, let's just honestly admit that we be wanting to kill ourselves sometimes, dude. Like, in the sense of we don't want to kill ourselves, we just want to die. That's a real feeling. I just want to die. Like, I can't do this anymore. In the sense of wanting to kill yourself, that's another level of illness, of hurting. But we can all attest to these days come and these situations come and you're like, oh my God, I just want to die. I just want to die. Which is typically on a Saturday. I just want to point that out. Saturdays are hard around here. But going back to it, it's like, you get to a point where you're real broken down, but then you got to get up and you got to get ready for more adventure. And, you know, I feel like I feel like I'm ready to, you know, face it again. You're like, yeah? I was like, yeah. And that's where it was too, you know, I begged him. By the time I got back from all of that shit, he brought me to Chris's house. And all I asked him for was to give my kids a wonderful fucking summer, bro. That's all I asked him for. Just, we've been through so much. Just give them a good summer, please, God. That's all I'm asking you for. Because I felt like we had been through so much. And that's all he did. He gave him, you know, he answered the prayers and shit. And when, you know, in Arizona, when I couldn't take it anymore, like, I couldn't take this situation that I was in. It's like, I just need out. I need peace. He took me straight into the fucking desert next to a lake and everything. He took me to Lake Mead, and that was all the peace I needed. You know what I mean? When I was staying over at the hotel and I couldn't take it, you know, too much energy, too much negativity, too much bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, it's checkout time. Here comes the sun. Go sit in your car for a couple of days. Get away from everybody. And that's kind of what this was, is we really needed a recharge. We had gone through a whole fucking winter of serious, like, you know, I mean, again, the kids, not really. They just went with the flow. But I was crying and stressing and healing and fucking, you know what I mean, pushing my limits all the way through. And so when we came here, it was, you know, a place of rest. It's not forever. And that's where it is like, I'm not there. But he also promised it, and that's where I'm trying to figure out this promise, because he promised he would give us security for the next school year, that we wouldn't move the whole next school year. That means we only have a couple of months. So if what she says is true, and I talk with, you know what I mean, my social worker, and once I'm secured in housing, they'll, you know what I mean, then I'm secured to stay here until that housing comes through, then that opens all of this to where I don't have the same fears of just, you know, nothing to come back to. And when you don't have anything to come back to, you kind of keep running. Is the effort, I suppose. It's like, if you don't have anything, you're like, well, why should I go back? So that could be good. And if I come back, that means we're still in the loop and we still have a home, and that still honors God's promise, like he said. And again, it just kind of came from nowhere. And I have to talk with her, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because people have already told me that. This other guy told me that too. He said, you need to talk to Volunteers of America and get their wraparound service. That way, when these guys try to say that you've been here too long, they'll extend it based on, you know, the wait time through them. I was like, oh yeah? But I didn't do all of that. Why didn't you do all that? I don't know. I do what God says. I listen to what people say they're doing, and it all sounds like great ideas. I want to do what people are doing and, you know, find the best way in and out, but I gotta wait till God tells me what's the best way to do it. And so, that's kind of where I'm at. He just gave me a whole bunch of possibilities and told me to work through them. And that's it. It's like, if she says, no, that's not how it works, like, if you leave, you're gonna be, you know, that's gonna be a final leave, then I have to face fears, bro. I have to face real fears. Am I gonna hold myself back again because the time isn't right? Because I'm not going to get a house. I'll never get a house if I don't listen to these people and do it their way. And that's what I said yesterday in my video. And that's what's holding her back too. She's like, my biggest fear is if I go somewhere, you know what I mean, I might miss a chance of getting a house here. could have had a house. They offered me housing in fucking Oklahoma, and I was gonna make a happy home there. They offered me housing in Yuma, and I was gonna make a happy home there. Supposedly, they're offering me housing here. You know what I mean? I'm sure I could find housing anywhere. So it's like, are we looking? You know what I mean? Is it just that reptilian shit again? You know, just a house and a job. You know what I mean? That's it. We just need the basics. That's reptilian, bro. Just meeting your basic needs out of pure desperation and fear. And that's what I was saying too, is like, are we going back into the Matrix? Or are we supposed to keep adapting and finding this new way of where we, as single women, are being cared for without us losing our mind trying to care for ourselves? I don't know. I know what got me out. And that was what got me out, was busting my ass. I don't know. It's kind of like, is that the only way out? Is that the only way out? And that's what we both said, is like, what are we waiting on? The system? Does the system work if you don't absolutely break it and overbreak yourself? Or is that why all these people are stuck in this system? I'm not sure yet. I'm really not sure, you know what I mean? I know that I broke the ceiling, and anytime I'm given an opportunity, you know what I mean? And that's what I said to him. It's like, I would have had a job by now. I wouldn't even be here by now. Especially if I knew that, you know. But it's not me operating on my own system. I'm trying to find a new operating system. Being guided. Because, again, you know, God's promises that I won't have to do this by myself. And I won't struggle. And we won't go without. You're like, how does that work if you're not the only one? I told you, that's that mentality, bro. Is the mass conscious mentality is, if I don't work my hardest, then we'll have nothing, and my family will end up in failure. That's not what people moved to America for, the American dream, bro. It was the land of the free and the home of the brave, where you could get a job and you can make your dreams come true. That's not how it is anymore, bro. If you get a job, you're lucky if you can pay your rent. It's so crazy. It's like, how does the price of everything go up but not fucking pay? It's going to crack, you know? It's just inevitable. The price of everything, gas, food, electricity, rent, water, everything is going up. But you don't get more for your, you know what I mean? You don't make any more. I don't understand how nobody sees that this is really bad, and it's gonna, you know what I mean? We're gonna go from bad to unbelievably worse. Like a whole ass depression. The US dollar doesn't meet, bro. It doesn't make enough. Like 10 cents doesn't make $1 here. If that makes sense. I don't know how to describe that, bro. But, you know, the cost of living doesn't meet the pay of living. It's unequal. There's no way, bro. It's just, this whole system is so fucked. It is so fucked. Right? It's fucked. And, like, if we try to fucking, it's like these assholes. I mean, I gotta be honest, dude. It's like these assholes trying to break the music industry. It's the system. You can't break the system. The system is gonna break itself, bro. It's gonna break everyone. In essence, dude, all of these artists, and they're all making fucking pennies, bro, and that's what they're always bitching about. Well, because they have to fucking maintain this lifestyle to go with it. That costs way more. They're not getting paid enough for the lifestyle they have to maintain. You know what I mean? That's where it all comes down. So even you at your high level and your high towers understand they're not giving you enough for your streams. They're not giving enough for us enough per hour, bro. It's the same fucking difference, bro. And if we get on the internet, there's a clause. You just don't know this, dude. Real jobs, you have to sign up. He wants my credit card real bad. You have to sign a waiver saying that you won't post shit on your social media about your job. You can get fired for posting shit about your job and your social media and shit. So we can't, you know what I mean, be talking shit about our jobs like you guys do. But in essence, yeah, bro, nobody's making enough money. That's how it works. Everything, it's not that we're not making enough money, it's that it doesn't go far enough. You know what I mean? People in the old days used to live off of, you know, they said the same candy bar that we're buying for fucking $2.79 to $3.25, they bought for a nickel, bro. It's the same size, different wrapper. It's the same fucking size, the same machine is making it, bro. It's been making it forever, bro. It's not even a human being. Are they getting rich off of us? No, it's because everything else costed. The cost of everything. And so nobody makes enough to survive. Everything will close down because of that, bro. You can't meet the labor cost, and you can't meet the product cost, and you can't meet the service, and you can't meet the import and export and the delivery. I'm serious, bro. We're fucked. It's fucked up. Going back to Oscar, nah, bro, we're gonna have to live in the grass and plant our own fucking garden, and we're gonna hope to God we know what we're doing, because fuck, we're gonna go hungry. And somebody's gotta get brave enough to start killing some fucking cows and chickens. Seriously, bro. Really? Yeah, bro, what are we gonna do? We already know they're poisoning us with it. The cows and chickens they're feeding us are no good. You're like, damn, you're psycho. No, dude, God's been preparing me for this. Our ancestors prepared us for this. They ran their fucking lifestyles like this. That's how they lived happily on their plantations. They had their land and they could, you know what I mean? And that's how they were abundant. They went into town for the things they needed, but we're going to try to figure this out where we don't need shit from their world. I just need to find some people that know some shit. I don't know how to make fucking clothing and shit like that. There's some shit I still haven't figured out, bro. I know people that know how to build. I know automotives. I know people that know plumbing. I know people that know agriculture, know how to garden. I know people that know how to handle livestock. I know people that are hunters. I know people that are builders and fucking welders and fucking carpenters and shit like that. We can build a fucking new world, bro. I don't even want to say make America great. We're going to build a new world. We'll start with America, but everybody needs that new world. And so something like that, I'm on the floor just like doing recon work. Like, fuck. All right. Yeah. And yeah. That's how I look at it. Because in essence, it's like first you have to figure out how you can make the change, how it'll work. And then you got to implement this change. I have a dream. But now we gotta work out all the little details and stuff. And then I'm always doing these fucking spiritual side quests, like going to fucking Alaska. This is totally spiritual and like nothing more than a fucking spiritual vacation, dude. I cannot think of anything up there other than the damn land and the beautiful sky that I want to go see. I don't know nothing about Alaska. The whales. That's all I'm really going for. So in essence, it's like, are you gonna start a world in Alaska? I don't think so. I'm just going to stay nice and cool in Alaska with the fucking cool view until the fucking, the fucking hot sun comes off of America. Dude, it's going to be a fucking hot one. Are you serious? Yeah, bro. I'm telling you. Why do you think my spirit's trying to get me ready to get the fuck out of here? You got to be guided by the spirit. We're heading north for the summer, bro. Yup. You don't want to head south because all that heat mixes with the cold and fucks it all up. I'm hoping to send all that fucked up weather to Oscar. Teach him how powerful I am. Yes, confirmation. So that's what I'm working on is possibilities. You ever dreamt about going to another place you never been before? Yeah. This was all planned early in the year. Again, you take a lot of left turns, bro, before you get right back where you fucking started, facing the same fucking shit. And what is it? You plant seeds, bro. You plant seeds of ideas and intentions. You work all the way through it. You make a whole fucking blueprint. You start getting to work, and then all of a sudden, it's like some ADHD shit, where new energy comes, and now you start working some other fucking crops. But you tend to all your crops, and you know what I mean? You'll go back and remember these thoughts and start thinking about them again, and that's when a visionary envisions all kinds of visions. It's like I had all of these ideas, but not all of them came to fruition. They come in time. That's it, is I haven't put down my documentary. I haven't, you know what I mean, the music. I was like, dude, I'd finished like, I'd say 25% of the documentary was almost done. The music, I don't know. We'll say 35% of that was done. And then it's like, put that down. Let's go deal with some other shit. It's like, are we going to get back to this? Yeah, circle back as the orbits of the planets and shit. When Neptune comes or something? Who knows? I really don't know, but that's just kind of how it is you catch these waves. You're very, I want to say impulsive, but it's not. It's divinely guided. Because it's an adventure. It's a wheel of life. If you learn the wheel of life, you're supposed to be moving with the seasons and with the planets, bro. Truly, you're not supposed to be so rooted and grounded and mundane where you're wasting every day and it is supposed to be an adventure called life. But you have to face the adventure and live your life. And it's not about, you know what I mean, posts and stuff like that. Like, it's not, like, this whole thing is about an inner desire. Going to Alaska, I've desired this since, I've been planning it for at least since my awakening, but I've desired to see the whales and to go to Alaska for as long as I can remember. You know what I mean? And that's where it is. It's like, you know, you finally walk in this dream or this desire. What am I going to get out of it? Nothing but the experience, and that's what I want, is to experience. I have a new experience. And I don't plan to live there and make it my lifestyle and, you know, Bangladesh, and this is my new fucking, you know, jammy jam. But that's it. And from there, I'll, you know, you could say as the wind blows or as the Sagittarius blows its arrow, it's like, well, where do we go from there? I don't know. The heart will guide us. But ultimately, again, by the start of the school year, I'll be somewhere stable. And that's where I'll be for the next 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, however long the school year is. So that's where I'm looking at. It's like, I'm not looking at just the present. I'm looking at all possible future possibilities and working through them and making them all realities. Because if you work it through, that's how it is you attract. The divine feminine attracts. She doesn't chase, right? I don't chase my dreams. I work on them and I manifest them and I take all the time it takes to realize them. So then when the time is right, all the doors open and I already worked through all of the bullshit. So now it's just the ride. I don't know how to explain that. To be honest. So that's how it is you really put this whole thing together in your head, and that's what makes me a master manifester. It's like, you made this all happen so easy. No, bro. I've been thinking about this and working on this for like 3 years. I've been thinking about this. It wasn't that easy. It came down to a couple of brave moments at the end, but it came down to a lot of moments to get to those final last moments of, you know, bravery. But it was a lot of brave moments that led to this moment. And that's how it is. It's like, you know, your dreams don't come true overnight. And your dreams aren't about power, fame, and success. It's just a longing in your heart. I always wanted to do that. What else? I'm going to ride a horse. I haven't rode a horse in this life. And then my inner knowing will fucking wake up and I'll be like, you know, the most beautiful bitch on a horse. Give me a sword and it'll be all the coolest things of all my past lives. And I'll look like the craziest, coolest bitch in 2025. But truthfully, I'm just reliving my old life. But she's so gnarly. I'll be that crazy bitch on the fucking cover of some weird fucking love story. Sung by Ali. Some dude with long hair. Not you, Russ. You don't fit the fucking script. There I go, rejecting your ass again, huh? Come on. You can ride with me, donkey. Jackass. See how I friend zone the shit out of that guy? Friend zone the shit. Who knows, Russ? Russ? I could, like, maybe get drunk and, like, you know, come on to you or something. Such a bitch. Can't ever have a video without talking shit to us. Hey, meet to nice you. Anyways, that's what I'm working on today. And that's probably, I mean, told you my whole story, so then when we pull the cards, it'll probably be in the cards. But that's what I want to teach you, is how to have these, you know, we're talking about the suit of swords, which is your mind power and how you work through your thoughts and where you put your intentions and how you manifest And I'm just telling you that. It's like, you don't just jump on any fucking idea. You have to really give it some time and some space and some, you know what I mean? Let it come to fruition. And then and then it comes down to God. And that's what I had to come down. I was like, all right, God, I'm willing to do, I'm wanting to do all this, but in return, what I really need is I need the security to feel, I need what I need to feel secure as I go into this. But otherwise, yeah, let's do it. And that's it too. And then you come down to it and you ask God to fulfill those little things that you don't have together. And then you go with it. And if she says that's all good and I can spend the next 3 weeks just working on housing and just secure that, then away we go. And away we go. Right? Right. What about you guys? You ever thought about going to a town, trying out a job you never had, dating a different kind of person? Leaving home, for God's sakes? I don't know. So that's where I'm at. That sounds good. Remember all the crazy fucking air traffic there was in Arizona? There was so many of those, of the military air traffic in Arizona. I always remember that. There was all those helicopters and jets and all that shit. Hey, there was the cool ones in freaking Bay City, Wisconsin, too. They had that old freaking airfield and all the coolest, like, 1930s, 40s, and 50s planes would, like, fly above. That was pretty cool, too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's where I am, just daydreaming. Daydreamer and a homecoming queen. That's it. I'm planning a fucking family vacation. Another Griswold adventure. And so I was looking at it, I was like, you know what? I was literally sitting in my car, I was like, I'm thinking I'm going to take this passenger seat out. Why? I don't know. Nobody fucking sits in it. You're like, seriously? Yeah, I don't let my kids sit in it. I make their asses sit in the back. I told you that already. If I took that out, that could give us so much room for, you know, activities. I was trying to sound like Step Brothers. Can we turn our beds into bunk beds? You'll give us so much more room for activities. I could do so much more room with that. And that's what I did today. So I got this box. Because Pandora's box is exploding, dude. I have so much information, all these books and stuff. And that's it, too. I have so much to take. I'll be stacked up. I have plenty of teachings and readings. I just got to stack up on some oils, get some more holy water, a couple little things. I'm ready to go, dude. I'm ready to fucking bewitch the fucking world. Let's get this mobile healing station going. And that's it, too. I can repack I can do this better. I can do this better, bro. I can do it better. You hear the crow? I love her. It's because the rain's about to come in. She's telling me to get going. Alright, well, I'm going to get going. I'll pull the cards for you guys in a bit, but that's what I wanted to show you. Is like, you change your mind, and you change your mind, and then you change your underwear, and then you change your mind about the underwear, and then you might try your other underwear, and then change... I can't pull it together. What was that? It's a whole joke. It's an inside joke. I'm dead. But in the essence too, like, what I really got to sit here and think about is like, what if she says, no way, bro, if you check out, you check out for good. I got to think about if I'm checking out, bro. I got to prepare to check out. I got to see what God says, dude. I got to work through some stuff. And I just want to show you, like, you guys can break free. You can do the impossible. And that's what I told her. I was like, you don't need money, Morgan. I was like, you could bum gas and get up there. And then it's fucking Alaska. They literally recruit all year round to get people to come up there and work during the summer. I was like, if worst case, we can work with some fish. And that's another thing, too. I never worked with fish. I am such a manly bitch, bro. I don't really want to be on a boat. That's a little too scary. I've watched too many scary movies, but God might make me do it. Like, I'm a sailor-ass bitch. I'm a seaman. God, I love you. I mean, it might be my only chance of ever seeing a whale, too, as long as we're not hunting them. And that's another thing, too. No, probably shouldn't do that. That doesn't sound like a very good job for me. But in the essence, yeah, dude, that's what I told her. I was like, dude, there'll be jobs up there. I was like, if you can just do it. And I was like, I don't think she'll go with me, but I at least inspired her. And, you know, it's not about just, you know, talking out my ass, because that's what I told her. I was like, dude, I've been thinking about this for a long time, bro. Like, really long time. And if you're telling me my car is good, dude, I'm gonna go. I didn't jump on the freeway or anything because I didn't have nowhere to go. So I'll fill it up with gas and I'll head somewhere tomorrow. I didn't. Well, okay. Honestly, if we were just testing it out, I didn't want to fucking fuck it up on the freeway. I'd rather fuck it up, you know, somewhere else. So I drove down Hampton because that turns into 55. I was doing 65. It was fine. So I don't know. We'll fuck around, find out tomorrow, make sure everything's good, and kind of just go from there. And that's it. You just have this tower moment where you, like, totally change your life. You destroy your life. In all possibility, I could be making the biggest mistake of my life. But it's one of the bravest mistakes of my life if I do make that mistake. And how can it be a mistake when I've wanted to do this all my life? If you've wanted to do it all your life, then how is it a mistake? Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying that. But it comes with a lot of hard work and a lot of determination, and you have to walk away from everyone else. They're not going to understand. They're going to think you're crazy and that you're making a big mistake. And they're not going to stand behind you with this dumbass idea of yours. And, you know, it's not going to be, you know, it's going to be a difficult ride. Do you hear all the animals? They all are coming. Oh, the ducks and everything. All right, well, I'm going to get going because my son wants some Roblox, and I will pull you guys some cards, and I'm sure this whole story will come out there. But the point of the story is to accept change for the better. Yeah, it's scary, dude. It's like you could lose what you got going for you. What do I got going for me, bro? I got a roof over my head. That's pretty awesome. But, you know, if I do this right, I could have a roof over my head, you know, over there too. So, just kind of pointing that out. Think about it. You know what I mean? I mean, what? You want to go to Alaska? Maybe, if you want to meet me up there. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get this all together, but perhaps if you want to go. Have you ever been? You ever wanted to go? Do you know a place? I don't either. God doesn't tell me, and that's what I told her. I was like, dude, I don't know where I'm going. I was like, he told me to go to Arizona, to Yuma. He didn't tell me where to go until like 10 minutes till I was there, bro. He doesn't tell me. When I came to Colorado, I didn't know where I was going to go camping. I just drove up a road, and he told me where to stop and park, and he showed me the perfect place. And then after that, I didn't know where I was going. I knew I needed an actual campground. He told me exactly who to call. I went straight there. He tells me what to do, but not until it's time. He don't tell me no shit till then. He just wants me to be like, surprise. I'm like, I don't like surprising. Nah, it's cool. So that's the story, and that's what I've been doing all day, and that's what we did. And I packed up all of Pandora's box plus my cards in that box, bro. They had 2 of them. I'm thinking I want to go back and get the second one. It had a zipper cover too. Why? I carry a lot of fucking shit, bro. But then again, if I'm not leaving the house, I don't need to carry everything. No matter what, though, I was feeling this whole desire to fucking clean house, to start eliminating shit. Once I emptied one, I was like, oh, okay. So then I moved on, and I took that empty tub, and I moved into the bathroom and started emptying shit and put everything into that tub. So we emptied other shit. And I'm just going around, and I was like, all right, time to go through our clothes, time to go through everything. Let's unpack and all of that. And I told you, as soon as I fucking unpack, it's time to pack back up. Pack it up, move it out. Is there something wrong with me? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think so. I was afraid of that. You know, everybody's afraid of not having stability. But I've mastered the art of flexibility. And that's cool. I guess if you fear it, that's not for you. If you're not that kind of person, it's not for you. But I gotta say, dude, this long in the game, I'm like 42 years old, and all my memories show that this is all I've done is travel and just, you know what I mean, start lives. That's what gave me the definition of a phoenix. It's like, you know, I've always shown people, and I was historical about that, is how I could make, you know what I mean, life anywhere. I could start a new life anywhere. And I try to show you guys that. In the essence, no, I haven't started a new home and a new job, but I've shown you that I can make a life anywhere, and that anywhere can be home. And that should be inspiring enough. There's lots of adventures to be had. keep that in mind. I'm going to go move on with this adventure, and we'll check the cards in a couple of hours, or maybe right away. I'm not sure. Hey, love yous, laters, haters, bye.